Good morning, everybody. Danny and Wanda back over here at Pecan Grove. Guys, we came over here after the rain last night just to kind of see how things was doing and checking things out. The Danny corn is really kicking it. I am so excited. It's up about 18 to 24 inches tall now. I'm fixing to have to plow it this week, the final lay-by. We're going to hopefully get it done. But the thing that caught our attention this morning was, see these trees behind me that have all these bright green leaves through here? Those are all pecan trees. And as we drove around on the Ranger, I got to looking. Many of these trees have the male tags hanging on them for making pecans. And I told Wanda when I started seeing them, I says, oh no, I said, we got to go look and see. So coming down the driveway over here on the other side of the corn, we've got big pecan trees. The male blooms are just hanging in them everywhere. We come over here and got to looking. If you pan around over here, this is our whole pecan. This is just all pecan trees, guys. Every bit of it's pecan trees. After we had it cleaned out.
There's an oak in there.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 5 or 6 oaks in it, but all the rest of them are pecans. They are loaded with the male blooms. Now, we have no idea what size pecan tree, pecans are going to be bearing. We don't know because this is our first year actually being over here and having them cleaned out from under. We got all the brush cleaned out from under because this was a jungle. And now these trees
behind the barn?
Well, actually behind the barn, yeah, there's actually male blooms up on all these trees. There's a couple of oaks I had left in amongst them. Just for shade for the cows and everything. I wanted to keep it as permaculture looking as I could. Guys, we're ecstatic. I mean, even on the other side of the barn, on the other side of the property, there is a whole orchard of big pecan trees. Everything is loaded with blooms this year. And the only thing that bothers me is it's a real wet spring while they're blooming. And, they may not do too well, I don't know. But we're going to try to keep an eye on what trees make pecans this year and what size pecans is on what trees. That's our goal here at Pecan Grove, is to monitor the pecan trees and to see how well they do. They're all seedlings except for the grafted ones in the pecan orchard way over yonder. Those were all grafted trees back when I was a young man, and we don't know what those are because they never bore while I was a young man. So they were too young. So now they're big old trees. But we're going to keep an eye on what trees does what here at Pecan Grove. And guys, we're going to take you along on the journey. If you stick with us over here on Patreon, we're going to take you along on that journey. And we're going to show you all summer long how the trees are doing. And when we get the cows moved over here and how the Danny corn's doing and all the rest of the crops are doing, we're going to keep you updated on all these things. Now, we are having an issue. We planted a ton of fruit trees up here in front of the barn over here, thinking if we keep them close to the barn, maybe we won't have any problems. Well, we went over there this morning, and last night, the deer ate all the leaves off of a lot of them. So we got to get Billy's bone sauce out. We put it around the garden here. Hadn't had any deer over here. We have to take the bone sauce over to the fruit orchard now because we figured, well, maybe the deer was gone, but not so. They came back last night with a vengeance. So we're going to put the bone sauce on the fruit orchard to see if we can keep the deer from eating all of our little leaves off our young trees. Thank you guys from Pecan Grove.